Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house. Into the crack house.
What's up? Welcome to Minisode 20. I am your host, Fritz, joined as always by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Angela.
Hello.
And Nick Spry.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Well, not too much. Number one, there is something that I've been meaning to tell you guys.
What?
Okay.
Oh, God. What now?
I knew it wasn't a cold sore.
Recycling goes down on Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't take mine out last week, and now I'm like, it's going to be doubled up if they don't show up after Thanksgiving.
My recycling's on Fridays.
Do you put your
Well, yeah, we put it out on Thursday. It picks up on Friday.
True that.
Do you have like a separate recycling thing
Yes.
inside your house that you
Oh,
use? Because
yeah, yeah.
I don't have a bin at my house. I have one, like just a giant garbage can outside that the city
It's just like a dumpster?
Well, on wheels.
Yeah, it's on wheels. It
Like
looks
a little-
just like,
like your own
it's
personal
a different
dumpster.
color than my garbage can, and the city picks it up. But like, we were thinking, like, do we put this in bags inside? Do you put the bags inside the recycling thing, or will they take it like that, or?
Well, no, I don't think you can have it bagged up.
So you just gotta like keep a whole bunch of loose like
Change.
change
And a
like
garbage bag.
yogurt containers and
We just have the
cardboard
normal
and-
old bins inside our garage. We throw our cans or whatever in there, and then we take those out to the
Yeah,
rolly bin
that's
and
kind
take
of what we
that
do.
out.
No, we
It's
don't
like
have that.
it's
We
like
don't
a
have
step.
that. Rolly
It's a
bin.
step. It's like first they go in my house somewhere,
Right.
and then that collects, and then we take it outside and put in that other big thing
Right.
outside, and then when that gets full, you take it to the
You wait a
street.
little bit until it gets full.
And some
And
of us
then it
realize,
reeks of beer, and then
Yeah.
you take it.
Yeah.
and it makes some of us realize what an alcoholic we are sometimes.
Yeah.
How embarrassing! Every time the glass
I had
hits,
a
I'm
party.
like,
I had a party.
no,
But
it's
can
a
you-
water bottle.
But can you imagine? Yeah.
I swear to God, I swear to Christ, it's a water bottle.
So imagine a whole big ass garbage can full of that, and how heavy it is. You go, oh, I drink too much.
Yeah,
You're like,
it's
I gotta
shameful.
Push this thing.
Excuse me while I take a drink.
It's mostly paper, I promise.
I swear.
Recycling, now that everyone knows. Thursday morning.
Tackling those tough issues on
Also,
Fort
number
Fritz.
2, apparently reaching out to alien life is not as dangerous, says a couple of people.
Okay.
And Mandaddy, I know in the past you've talked about if we do make contact with extraterrestrial life outside of our solar system or outside of our known systems, it might not be a good thing.
Yeah, there's no, the fact that they could get here means they're way more advanced than we are just to start off with. And there's a good chance they're either going to look down at us or they're looking for something.
So this is from, again, one of my favorite sites, express.co.uk. Dr. Douglas Vakoch, president of the Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence Organization, METI.
Okay.
Eddie?
Announced his research group had overseen a series of transmissions being sent to outer space from a 32-meter, how many feet is that? 6?
Oh, no, because I'm American.
Times 3,
96 foot, that's big. 96-foot radio dish north of the Arctic Circle in Norway. So this move has kind of triggered some people. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? It's a brand new software. People, number one, are concerned that the scientists are sending out this signal, and if it is so advanced, other alien life forms can maybe pick it up. So here's the thing. One planet that they sent this message to is, and I'm totally in line with Sean Wasson of the News Junkie, planets have the worst fucking designations. This planet is GJ273 lowercase b.
Yeah,
So
that's
It
memorable.
references a quadrant and a section. I mean, it's there for a reason. It's not like they
Sure.
can just call it Bob.
Yeah,
Right.
repeat that back though.
Well, I don't have to because he has it right there in his hand.
But you could just start going like Bob Prime, Bob Double Prime,
Exactly.
Bob Triple Prime.
Astronomers sent a mathematical and a scientific tutorial created by METI. Also, some samples of music from Spain's Sonar Festival, whatever the hell that is.
Really?
But
Interesting.
because they sent it to GJ237 lowercase b, which is believed to be one of the closest potentially habitable bodies nearest Earth, people are confused and they wonder why. For instance, this one guy, Dan Wertheimer, now SETI, you know what SETI is, right?
Yep. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Yep. Dan Wertheimer, he's the SETI researcher, and he says pretty much 98% of scientists believe this is not a good idea to send something so potent out at a fucking planet close to us, relatively, right? I mean, we're talking light years, but relatively, this is not a good idea. He says it's like shouting in a forest before you know if there are tigers, lions, and bears.
Oh my!
I knew it. Thank you. Or other dangerous animals out there. But this guy, Dr. Vakoch, he goes, "There's no threat. Like seriously, there's no threat."
How does he know?
He's a doctor.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
So thoughts?
Well, this is going to be super circuitous, but like so.
Oh my.
I know what that means,
right.
but in case
so you're saying something like
don't know what that
a
means,
recommendation from Medi went to SETI. And
Medi-SETI.
So Medi-SETI. This is going to be kind of like a Heckle and Jekyll situation and replace racist birds with nerds.
Okay.
And you're searching for extraterrestrial life. One is like, no, this is a bad idea. You know that aliens are going to show up just now, just so hijinks can ensue between these two groups.
Are we talking hijinks though? Because hijinks are fun.
Are there low jinks? Or like, can you have just mid jinks or just jinks? You know, you go out with your friends. We're just gonna get ourselves into some jinks.
God, I'm trying to think of a low jack joke.
But it's just not coming.
Not coming.
Yeah, or Jinx, you owe me a Coke just doesn't work either.
Yeah.
I bought you that 12 pack, didn't I?
It was circuitous.
Yee. Now, someone else brought up this point before, so this is not an original thought, which I've had none of.
That's all right.
The gold disc that was in the original Voyager,
right?
Which was very interesting because it had the not Rembrandt, but
Vesuvius Man.
Yeah, it had two of those, a man and woman naked, and it showed it had different Earth sounds. Actually, had a few. I think it had a Beatles song on it. Or
Chuck Berry, I believe.
Yeah, Chuck Berry. Okay, and then it also had like a galactic map showing where Earth was. So basically, we sent out nudes with a map to our house.
So,
I mean,
so what you're saying is this search for extraterrestrial intelligence is basically like a giant universal Tinder.
Yeah, it is. It's just like it's like a random dick pic to the world.
What year was that? What year was that we sent that out?
Oh God, I sent out Voyager in like 60 or 70?
76?
Yeah, something like that. Well,
September 5th, 1977. Points on the board.
Damn!
Nice.
Ooh.
Yep, points on the board. Son of a bitch.
But what science fiction movie was it ended up being kind of the big bad of?
Arrival?
No, older than that.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Nope, a classic franchise's first movie outing.
Transformers.
I said classic.
Alien.
Nope. Star Trek. Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Oh, what?
Where they're looking for V'ger. There's this whole thing about V'ger is coming. They finally get onto I think it's an asteroid or something, and V'ger is just Voyager with some of the letters blacked out, and that was what became and that's why they're coming back. It's an old movie.
Full disclosure, Mandaddy has a trivia night, and I haven't won yet. I haven't won there yet, but it's because of all of his Star Trek questions. He has so many Star Trek questions.
I barely ever ask Star Trek questions.
Oh,
I don't ask Star Trek. I can't. People don't. People get mad at me. A guy fucking made a comment about me talking too much at my trivia. They on the event for my.
I can't
Wednesday
think
night.
with all this talking.
Yeah.
Well, did you
basically
respond back?
Go, here's a question.
Did you respond back saying, "Stop listening so much"?
Would you close your fucking ears?
So to round this story out, do you think it's a good idea that we contact other places? Mandaddy says we already have tried.
Yeah. Just because of all the telecommunication, we've sent so much out into the universe that's just out there.
I think it's probably like a last resort thing. I mean, humanity at the rate we're going doesn't have much longer. We can use any help we can get.
It's kind of a crapshoot, though. You don't know
Maybe
what
just
you're
to
going to
finish
get
this
back.
off quicker.
Yeah.
Let's get this apocalypse going.
Yeah, I guess, but you don't know. It could be dangerous. It could be awesome.
Sure.
Would
it be like taking us to the next level of evolution? I just don't see. I don't see us as a people being able to go to it.
We've already done it. Someone's eventually going to find that if whatever's out there. So it's like it's coming. Just kind of a matter of when.
Roll into the punch.
Nick Spry, what do you got for us?
So I'm going to go with a spooky word of the week this week.
I love these.
Going with the word
macabre.
That was the last week.
Damn it.
Grotesque.
It's a good.
Oh, I know this one.
Good.
Yeah. What is it?
It's not good. Duh.
Close. So this can mean like wildly formed, of irregular proportions, boldly odd. Again, I'm looking
boldly
at
odd. That's
boldly
awesome.
I like
That
that.
is a
I've
good
never heard those
definition.
words combined like that. He wasn't just odd; he was boldly odd.
I'm looking at several different sites here for this, or it can be repulsively ugly, incongruous, or inappropriate to a shocking degree.
Inappropriate
that one.
to a shocking degree.
So this word comes from actually art, from paintings that were done on the walls of caves, grottos to be specific.
Okay, so the word, okay.
And I was...
So a grotto would have to have some water in it, I guess, right? A grotto has like a cave with some water, you know?
I think that it might be a cave that's formed by water.
Yeah.
I don't know if
most
it
caves formed by water?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know much. I'm not a scientist.
Cave Master Fritz here.
Is it like a cave with water still
Maybe that
in
has
it?
access.
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's a grotto.
Active-
You know, 'cause
active
you think
water?
about the grotto at Hugh Hefner's place, which is more
Sure.
like a
Yeah,
big
you're right,
bowl
you're
of
right.
drop
And the
soup.
famous,
It's like a
the
spring.
famous grottos of Capri
She caught that.
are basically caves that have inside lakes or some connection to a body of water.
What were you saying about that?
That way.
Like a subterranean
It's
lake?
basically a cave that has like a lake in it, but it's connected to a larger body of water. Like you can access the grottos if you could swim underneath. And come
what is
up.
that called? It's
That's
called
a
Cave
grotto.
diving.
no, but there's a certain geographical underwater cave thing. It's called like a sump or something like that.
A sump.
Dude,
That's-
those people
that's
that
good. I like
actually
that
go
one.
cave scuba diving, fuck that, man.
Yes.
There's
Spelunking?
this, and everybody's, you heard this tale about someone who scraped in the wall, tell mom I loved her because they knew they weren't getting out and crap like that.
Pretty
No, thank you.
terrifying.
Yeah, not on my schedule.
But it also makes you think that if you were looking at paintings on the wall of a cave, there's going to be some things out of proportion. Sure. It's probably not an even surface to
Yeah.
paint on.
Sure.
It's going to be...
Eyeball's going to jut out a little bit more.
Be like, what did you think? I made this painting for you. And you're like,
That was great. Thanks.
woo, it's good.
It's shockingly inappropriate.
But the Italian word was pittura grotesca. And they somehow, with the
Delicious.
word combined with the word opera of all things, I'm looking right up online here with the opera basically just means a labor or work. So this is a mid 16th century word from Italian, goes into also French, grotesque. And it-
Grotesque.
yes, with a C instead of a G. And it later becomes, in what we know it as now, in the sort of, looking right here, 19th century, yes. I'm sorry, the mid 18th century.
So mid 1700s.
Correct. It's also a type of typeface for printing, the grotesque style.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
How is that different than
Comic Sans.
Comic Sans? or papyrus?
Right. And that's the spooky word of the week. But there's another thing that I wanted to bring up.
Ooh.
Yes.
A
it
double
is-
from Nick. It's a double from Nick.
It's happening currently. This is an ongoing story. There was another killing in the recent Tampa murders.
Oh, no shit.
I heard about that.
November
Yeah, it's
14th.
bad.
It was a Tuesday.
So to
this-
kind of like back sell the story to people who are not familiar with Tampa, Florida, or the United States, what's going on?
So the Tampa Bay police now suspect that there may be a serial killer actively inhabiting. They now believe it's actually a resident in this specific neighborhood, like a suburb of Tampa Bay called Seminole Heights.
Wow.
All of these
No,
murders.
it's so central, like, in such a small area. That's fucked up.
It's within a mile radius.
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy.
terrifying.
Like a 10 to 15 block radius. It's crazy.
You'd think they'd be able to just go to everyone's house, like, all right, everybody out.
Right?
Well, they're now
Illegal
actually,
search and seizure right now.
They are kind of doing that, though.
yeah, they've set up police actively there, and they have actually asked residents of this area to, if you own a gun, just go and check and make sure that it's still there.
Word.
And if it's not, call us.
It's all been handgun deaths, right? It's
Yes,
all been,
it's unusual. It's been all shootings.
Yeah.
The latest one, like I said, was November 14th, and it was a 60-year-old man, Ronald Felton. He was 60-year-old man.
He was a
and
6-year-old man.
this was around 5 a.m. that morning. He was crossing the street to go to a church where he regularly volunteered to help with the homeless and
Oh,
things like
geez.
that. He was a really good Christian man, and he was shot in the back. This time, though, in difference to the other three, there was an eyewitness. Ish. They didn't get a good look, but they heard the shot, and they came down to where they heard the shot from, and they saw what they said was a tall, thin black man between 6 and 6'2". He was wearing a black baseball cap and hoodie, and he had a very large black pistol. And that was as good a description as they could get. There's actually video footage, but it's really unclear. But of someone they think may be the suspect wandering.
Person of interest.
Right. Correct. But it's starting to get scary.
Yeah.
This has been the first killing in a month. So there were 3 killings that started on October 9th. There was I believe a 19 or a 20-year-old man, a 32-year-old woman, and then a 20-year-old autistic man who just ended up literally in the wrong place at the wrong time. He got on the wrong bus and got off in this neighborhood and was picked out as a victim by this killer. But police have ramped up their efforts, and hopefully they catch them soon. I mean, this is still a developing story.
Yeah.
It's fucking so
That's
sad
really
to hear about these
sad.
kind of things.
It's very, very Son of Sam feel, when it comes to the random handgun killings.
Angela was actually talking about this before each minisode. We go to the local bar and we have some fish and chips and some chicken from the chicken joint, and we have some beers. And she was saying this is very Son of Sam-ish.
Yeah.
So they need to round up all the dogs and find the talking one.
Well,
That's and solved.
Yeah.
Solved. The one that has a neighbor that's killing everybody is the one with the talking dog.
if it was only that simple.
It is. There's not that many talking dogs. There's like Brian on Family Guy. That's it. And the guy that lives next to him. Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you and everything you stand for, Nick. Angela, what you got there?
Well, I just saw this today, actually. Have you guys seen the trailer for A Quiet Place?
Mm-hmm.
I have not.
It looks so fucking hip.
Doesn't it look
It looks
good?
so hip.
So it's directed by John Krasinski, Jim Halpert from The Office.
Oh my God, I love him.
Oh, yeah. I'm on an Office kick right now.
Oh, I love rewatching
I'm never
The
not
Office.
on an Office
I know.
kick, actually.
Thank you.
Well, every once in a while
it's
we'll
the
go rewatch everything.
Yeah, it's just like it's the show that's like if we're like doing something and we're waiting for another show, just okay, put on a few offices while we do this. It's
when
just
you're cleaning
constant.
the house or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
You're trying not to think too much because you have you hate your life.
That
Put it on.
and you also have it memorized.
Yep.
So, anyway, this is like a horror movie that John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt are doing together, starring in it. He's directing it. He kind of like got the script and he kind of rewrote it. He's directing it, starring in it, rewrote it.
And it's a horror movie about a quiet place.
So basically, this. You don't really know that much about it. Like the trailer gives you nothing.
Yeah, there's
and
no
I looked
dialogue
up,
in the trailer.
And I looked up on everything.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Wikipedia. I
You
looked
should
on
play the trailer.
IMDb.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing on it. Like it's literally just released like a couple of days ago.
Well, should we pause and watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's awesome.
All right.
It's
I would-
awesome.
I would love to.
It really makes you go, holy shit, I want to see what's going on with us.
Yeah. All right. So we just watched the teaser trailer for A Quiet Place, directed by John Krasinski. What'd you guys think?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
many
Yeah.
and so much. Yes.
And so little.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Like, for real.
there are no words in this trailer. There's no narration. There's like a little like words that pop up in between each little frame, but like all you can tell is that this family is on this farm, isolated, and they can't make any noise. They're speaking in sign language. I guess when the actress is actually deaf.
The lead girl is actually deaf.
Really?
And they got a lot of applause for actually getting a deaf person in a deaf role.
Wow.
But it's just a hell of a choice as a filmmaker to make a movie like that. And
It's basically going to be like a silent film, I feel like, for a lot of it. Like almost, where there's no dialogue. It's like a performance art piece kind of. Like it's just showing little movement that they're doing. And
there's a lot of explaining. They got a lot of explaining to because everyone on the internet was like, okay, I have one question. Why don't they just fucking move?
It's
so many
never as
stories.
easy as
Well,
we
you
know all
don't
of our ghost
know.
stories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of story to dig in there.
Yes,
like
exactly.
A meat to try to
There's
figure
obviously
out.
some reason that they're and like he was pouring sand so they don't make any noise.
And they walk
like,
barefoot. That
walk
was cool.
barefoot.
I like that you see like little hints of what
Like
when
the-
things go bad, what
Yes.
it could be. Like on the staircase, like
Yes.
those claw marks going
claw
all
marks.
the way
There's
down.
like Beauty and the Beast, like
yeah,
oh,
like
shit.
massive.
Yeah.
And little things like rolling the dice on the carpet when they were playing Monopoly
Right.
instead of on the
Yeah.
board,
Yeah.
Well, we're spoiling a trailer.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh no.
what was cool?
Ooh.
What was cool is that so like I have this theory in movies: if you see someone who you recognize, you immediately go, "Oh, Tom Cruise." Or you go, "Oh, Tom Hanks."
Yeah.
And I only recently found out that Mike Myers plays the host for the Gong Show.
You didn't know that? That was
No,
him?
I did
really?
not know that.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like it's like when you see someone who you think is new, you go, oh, okay, like I'm all in. But you see John Krasinski, who is Jim from The Office. Immediately I go, oh, it's Jim. But also, as soon as that thought came in, it was suppressed. I had already suspended disbelief. And then seeing him, you're like, you trust him. And then seeing him speak, ASL, like American Sign Language, and then I don't want to give anything else away, but it was really, really good, and that was well done. And also, horror movies are great if they have a simple idea.
Yes.
That is a great idea. It follows, same fucking thing.
Yep. Babadook.
One good idea a movie makes when it comes to horror.
Agreed.
It's always great when someone takes a genre in a different area and does something different, and uses a different emotional tactic to suck you in. Something like Silence right there.
Amazing.
That's like
Suspense thriller movies in general do best if there's just a really simple premise, like
Birds.
Birds, or another Hitchcock movie, Rope. Have you seen that one?
One take.
All in one take, but the premise is they killed somebody, the body's hidden in the table, people come over, they got to make sure they don't look in the table. That's it.
What was I keep going. I was going somewhere else when my brain stopped.
Okay. It's all good. That's a dope fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Though. So that's the movie again?
A Quiet Place.
And when is it coming out?
April 6th, 2018.
Oh,
or it says
I can't
April, but I read somewhere that it was April 6th specifically.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, you heard it here. You heard it here first.
Yeah. It
A
looks really
Quiet
cool.
Place. Get on this shit. It's going to be awesome.
Looking forward
Thank
to
you.
it. Very much looking forward to it.
Well, I was also going to say, and this is kind of an old show, but I watched Slasher.
I started watching the first 20 minutes of that the other night, but it was I decided to check it out another time. So it
That
holds up?
seems to be kind of everyone's reaction to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
It's just one of those, like, it's, by the way, it was like filmed in Canada, so it was like on Super Channel, and then USA at some point, then it's Netflix, so I don't really know. I guess it's all those places you can
What's
find
the
it.
premise behind it? It's
So-
on Netflix. I know it's on Netflix.
So basically, the whole premise is these parents were like brutally murdered by this like something called the executioner, and
So
then
it's a comedy.
and the mother was pregnant, and the baby is like lives and grows up, and then somehow I don't know why she's moving back to her hometown where this happened, moves into the house that it happened in, and she's
Great
like,
idea. What could go wrong?
and she's like a painter or like some kind of art gallery owner. But then all these like murders start happening again, like executioner style, but it like taps into like, it becomes like a 7 deadly sins thing. And I'm like 7? Like it starts copying things.
Yeah.
And all the murders are so predictable.
Okay.
And like
Nick
some of the
is
deaths are kind
squirming
of
in
good.
his chair right
but-
now.
So you didn't make it through season 1 then?
No, I couldn't.
Okay, so I didn't watch season 1. I was bored on the couch and just hit play because it was like a suggestion, and it started episode 1 of season 2 for me.
Oh, okay.
So I guess season by season, it's a totally different story.
So like American Horror Story kind of?
Yeah, but like
Oh, but they
a
copied
really,
that.
really shitty version of American Horror Story.
Canadian Horror Story.
But even even the opening credits are American Horror Story style. So you're like, what a ripoff. Like, it's so...
Have you been getting through this new season? Because I
haven't even started this new season.
I got like 4 or 5 episodes in. I was liking it, but just like every American Horror Story, eventually I just kind of go,
It gets tepid.
I love the first season.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Coven. Asylum had some ups and downs. I hated the fact they didn't resolve the whole alien issue. But then when it got into Hotel and all that, I'd watch like 5 episodes and then just be like,
Okay. So allow me to interject. The first season was garbage.
First season's
of American
terrible.
Horror Story?
Yep.
That was my favorite season.
I liked it too.
Whoa.
They mentioned
Wait,
early
hold
on.
No, I like the first season. I like the
Dylan
first season.
McDermott?
Ghost House.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I always forget because that one was like the first. And
It didn't have like a designation.
Yeah,
Ghost
yeah.
House.
Of course, it's not without its merits and its talking points, but early on,
Moira, the maid that was hot to some people
Yeah, she
and
was
old
great.
lady to some people.
yeah,
Oh,
really,
yeah.
again, like really good moments, but they mention early on that you become trapped in the house. So then anyone who trapped there, it just turned into a Benny Hinn like kind of like
Benny Hill.
I thought you were going to
Benny
say
Hill.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
Benny
Benny
Hill
Hinn would
is
be
the
totally
local
different.
evangelist guy.
Yeah, that knocks people over his code that had a place over there off of
Either way,
Forest
that'd
City.
be a lot.
Yeah.
But Benny Hinn was also comical, right? Farcical almost.
Benny Hinn? Yeah, but people used to protest outside Aliqua all the time with like signs that said Christian pimp and things like that.
It just turned into the sideshow. Anyway, the second one, Asylum, was okay. Alien Story, I kind of figured they wouldn't end it. The third one, what was the third one? Coven, I stopped watching. I just didn't really like the Nicki. God, what's her
Minaj?
name? No, Nick. God.
Canon?
Fleetwood Mac.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie
Nikki
Nicks.
Six.
Stevie Nicks. Nikki Six. Stevie Nicks' character.
That'd be a hell of a
was-
fucking a meetup, man. You know, replacing Stevie Nicks for Fleetwood Mac tonight is Nikki Six.
That was kind of a stretch. It was obviously like, they wanted her in, but again, not without its merits, right? I thought Freak Show was the first one that really was firing on all cylinders.
Okay.
It seemed like
Really?
that's when they started kind of like mapping things out. I don't think they mapped things out.
It started out well that season.
The Freak Show one.
The Freak Show one.
Once
I
they
think-
killed Twisty, I was out.
I think Freak Show though has more of the satisfying ending. The other ones just seem like they scramble at the end.
I loved
Yeah.
everything about the Freak Show season except for the musical numbers.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that was the
that was
worst
the worst part
freaking
about
thing
it.
ever.
True.
Yeah.
Why
That was
take
awful.
all this time making a really good period piece and just throw in a
I
freaking
agree.
Madonna song?
That bothered me about that.
Exactly.
I
it was
feel like that was the
annoying.
thing that took me out of it.
Yeah.
Was the music.
Yeah, it's just like that. It was completely. It was just such a non sequitur. I couldn't handle it conceptually or in any way. So fuck them.
All right, well, fuck them, I guess. You heard it here first.
Like Roanoke Nightmare. Roanoke Nightmare. I think we only watched like 4 episodes of that one. It's like some people love it, but it's like I keep on trying to trudge through, but then some other show will take my interest and take my time.
Agreed.
Does that really sum up why you don't like the show Slasher?
Way to bring it back, dude.
Well,
He's
It
good.
was good.
the show Slasher had terrible writing. The dialogue was a mess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Never even seen it.
No, it goes back to my American Horror Story. That's why I brought it up. I was like, come on.
I mean, I feel like I always give so much away of everything, but like the fact that she is like a gallery owner who just happened to move back to this hometown, we don't really know why, moving into the house that it all happened in, where her parents were brutally murdered by this guy.
There's no backstory.
That they also found out later her parents were like swingers. So there's this whole other thing with that.
They have to
And-
throw that in, don't they?
Yeah, it was so strange.
Sex sells.
And then, but she they caught the guy supposedly who killed her parents, but she would like go in and talk with him all the time in the prison, like she was some FBI agent, like psychoanalyzing a sociopath to figure something else out. And you're like, this has been done before.
Was
The
she
Seven
thinking that,
Deadly
like,
Sins thing was
I don't
done
know, I haven't seen
before.
this. We could talk about this. I was like, do you think she thought he was her dad?
Yeah, I do think there
Okay.
was some hinting of that. But like, I don't know, it was just the way that it was like, how often is someone actually allowed to go in and keep talking to a convict like this? Like just a regular person.
Yeah.
Like at a table.
I don't know, we
Like
can
in a
try it.
private room.
All right.
Can we-
This is
can
our
we-
weekend.
Like
now,
how
our
often
weekend
can
is now
you do
set.
that?
I don't know if you actually can do that.
Right.
I
So
don't. I
like,
don't
but
never,
it keeps happening.
Maybe
like,
in Canada because they're so damn polite. Like, oh,
maybe.
come on in, talk to him.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got press credentials from iHeartMedia. Maybe you guys ever heard of
Oh. Yeah.
it. Actually, I'm going to edit that out.
Cover all bases.
But I don't know. There's just so many things about it. I couldn't even finish the season because I was like, it was so ridiculous to me. And all the deaths were just so predictable. Gory, pretty gory, and like impressive in that regard. But I was like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, there's a big budget with like blood and blood packets and shit like that.
just Caro syrup.
Yeah, just carousel. That's it.
Delicious.
It is. And
Thank you.
And sticky as all got out. Well, what I got going on is I had some other stuff I want to talk about, but it's kind of dark and depressing, so fuck that.
Yep. fuck it.
Oh,
It was about a guy on Thanksgiving killing some teenagers, that old chestnut.
Throw it where I throw my cell phone when I'm done with mine.
And over there.
Yep.
And,
You hit the banjo.
well, first of all, I did. Got to be careful of that. So, saw a sequel of a movie that I really enjoyed.
Go on.
The movie, the original is called Creep.
Creep. When
Yes,
did Creep
and so
come out?
Creep 2 is out.
Okay, all right.
So Creep 2 is out.
Creep was great.
Yeah, Creep was really interesting, very hard to describe.
I would say documentary style, POV, two characters in both
Yeah.
movies, just two characters,
Yep.
and it's what Mark Duplass from the League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's and the first one is just you just don't know what to expect.
Right.
You know, you just it has you can't tell where the comedy's coming from and where the terror is coming from. It's and the ending is just freaking spectacular.
I agree.
It's just
I
amazing.
really enjoyed it.
And so Creep 2 is now out, and it's going to be hitting Netflix soon. And it's good. It kind of stretches it a bit. There's a lot of really. It's still kind of the same concept, but taken a little differently, with a female this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the creep and a female. The creep and the female. Yes, it's coming up to NBC this week. It's Creep and the Female.
It's like a morning radio show.
He's the creep and she's the female.
Tackling today's toughest subject.
I feel like that's what I hear in the news all the time anyway now.
Thank you.
Pretty
But,
much, yeah.
But I enjoyed it, but it does take a lot of willing suspension of disbelief. There's just a lot of stuff you're like, why would that person do this and not? like so many different movies, like the door's right there.
Right.
Just use it.
Yeah.
You know, it had a satisfying ending, twisty kind of ending thing, but not bad. I think it's not as good as the first one. But still, if you enjoyed Creep 1, check it out. If you haven't seen Creep, definitely check out Creep.
Again, Creep was what kind of plot again?
It's a documentary style film.
Okay, right.
In a nutshell, it's a guy who pays a videographer to come over to his cabin in the woods.
I have seen this movie. It's
And
amazing. The
he's-
ending scene, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
okay,
incredible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he
Never
pays this
seen this.
guy to come over to his cabin in the woods, and it's just the two of them for like a weekend because and I'm not, this is the premise of the movie. He tells the videographer that he is dying of cancer and that he wants to make this video for his future son. So things go downhill for
Yeah,
him.
and hilarity ensues.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got to spend a lot of time with this very, very eccentric, to say the least, man.
And he plays the character amazingly.
Beach fuzz.
Everything about this movie is really, really great. You see, so it's found footage, right? Shall we
Right.
say?
Yeah, that's
it's
the
found
easy way to
footage,
say it.
and just suspend disbelief. This is one of those movies that really set the genre apart, and I think everything about it was well done. The antagonist of the movie, right? The guy with cancer, the antagonist of the movie.
Right.
I would call him the protagonist of the movie.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Almost, in a way.
Well, yeah,
But
He's the main character. There's only two people in the whole movie.
Yeah, but the main character wouldn't be
But-
the antagonist. The
Well,
main
yeah.
character would be the.
He's an
But
He's
in
an
this
anti-hero.
particular movie, the antagonist is the protagonist in a way. It just depends on, and when you're watching it, who are you rooting for?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it really is. It's
In
like,
some ways, Jason is kind of the protagonist. If you're a huge fan of the Friday the 13th movies, you
Agreed.
want to see him just kill and kill again.
but he's not. He's the antagonist. He literally is antagonizing the viewers because the viewers are always introduced with the main characters first. The main characters being the
Future murder
kids.
victims.
Well, you just ruined that movie. That Mandaddy at Fort Fritz.
Wait a minute, what? You mean he kills teenagers? Damn it, I had no idea, dude.
Dude, you don't know how many people are being born like today. All right? And they could listen to the podcast before they see the
Tomorrow.
movie.
I don't care about them.
Okay. Well. So Creep 2, it was good.
It was good. Not as good as the first, in my humble opinion. But his performance is once again what makes it.
Is it the
his
same
performance?
team?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe so.
It's is it Blumhouse? No, it's not Blumhouse.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Or Ghost House?
No, it's definitely some much smaller budget than
Ghost
something.
Town?
that they do.
Orchid.
Orchid.
Or Orchard, I think.
Orchard is a
Orchard.
distribution company.
Yeah, they're who distributed
Really?
distributed it.
That's awesome.
Who distributed it. Distributed it. They distributed that all over the damn place. They did.
Oh,
They do.
hell.
Shit. But it's still enjoyable. What I'm really enjoying right now in the Netflix world is The Punisher.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I haven't seen a single episode. Don't
I'm
ruin
only
this
three
for
in.
me.
I'm only
Do
three
not
in.
ruin this for
Oh,
me,
no.
man. Daddy.
I'm only 3 in, dude.
Watched the whole thing.
And,
Have you seen it?
here's a story.
Angela,
yeah,
you seen it?
the whole thing.
Really?
You seen all of The Punisher already?
Yeah.
Damn you to hell. You love it?
Oh, it's so good. I mean,
Awesome.
I'm not gonna.
I've
I'm not
seen-
gonna say anything, but
Yeah.
If you
I loved
had
it.
to.
Yeah, we're
If
only
someone
3 in. And,
twisting your arm.
but I saw people on Twitter complaining about it being violent. It's the Punisher.
It's true.
The
I also
Punisher
saw
does
people
one
complaining
thing.
that it wasn't violent enough.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Psychopaths.
If you've read The Punisher, oh my God. The thing, I mean, he is the Punisher.
It is Blumhouse. Point to the board.
Boom! Well played.
Well done.
Here's a story about spoiling things. Because several years ago, spoiler, if you're a fan of comics and you haven't read something from about 10 years ago.
We will pause for
before-
2 seconds so you can pipe the volume down.
And digest a decade's worth of comics.
Well, at one point they kill Captain America.
Oh, say it ain't so.
And so I'm
Was that
at my...
during Civil War?
Yes. And so I'm at my trivia night at Copper Rocket back in the day, and a certain Nick Spry was working in the back.
That's true.
And it had been announced in the news. It was been announced in the news that Captain America had been killed.
I didn't have a TV at the time. I didn't listen to the radio.
Fucking hipster. And you were a hipster before there were hipsters. You're a
I was
hipster.
what was known as a scenester or a bohemian.
Hands
on the hip rule,
like
man.
I'll have you know.
All right.
Oh, that was so perfect.
Tip of the hat to you.
But so I'm on the mic just spouting out the mouth like I do, and I mentioned the fact that Captain America gets killed, and I hear from the kitchen, "What?" And Nick just runs out, "Damn it, I'm in the middle of reading that!" And I was like, I still feel bad to this day.
It's a true story. And I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm glad I was here for this.
Well, that's good because I didn't apologize. Well, that's the Minisode. We hope you all enjoyed. We're about to go into Turkey Day. I think by the time this airs, Turkey Day will have been gone, right?
Yep.
So we hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everyone didn't get into huge political arguments while you're at your dinner table on Thanksgiving.
And if you
Mandaddy.
did, I hope that you
Basically me.
If you do, I hope that you, or if you did, I hope that you cite your sources.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Or
go.
are super drunk and adamant.
Both. It'll be both. It'll be both. I mean, you should do both. It's not going to be both.
Yeah, that's the red and blue side of our fan base. So perfect.
There you go. This is bite your tongue Thanksgiving
There
is
you
what we
go.
have going on both sides of the aisle. On both sides of the aisle.
Get through it.
So everyone, just talk sports. Just talk sports and movies and TV. Just keep it to that, and discuss whether you put the stuffing in the bird or you cook it outside the bird. Because I mean, it is dangerous, but it's so much better. You know, it's
I agree.
That's a
I
thing?
agree.
And if you cook it inside the bird, you have to be careful because salmonella possibilities. You have to make sure it's
It's got to
cooked.
get a certain temp.
Yeah, all the way. You have to check the temp of the bird and the stuffing.
I didn't know that.
I think you
But
cook
that
it
makes it
outside of
dangerous. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's like fugu. You know,
It's a gamble. You don't know what kind of Thanksgiving is going to be.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
good.
grandma's been kind of off lately, and she cooked the stuffing. Let's see what happens. Let the kids eat it first. Watch them; they'll go down quick. That's why we have the kids table. People don't realize that the kids table originally was just so they would give them the stuffing, and they'd wait like 20, 30 minutes, and be like,
We're good.
all right, good. Let's go. Let's make this happen. So we hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll be back. So who knows when we'll be back with the full episodes. We've got a lot of stuff we're planning, and this one, it's going to be spectacular. So strap in. We'd thank you. We'd like to thank you. We're going to thank you, and I'm now thanking you. I am Mandaddy. That is Fritz.
Bye.
That is Nick Spry.
Toodles.
She is Angela.
Ciao.
And we'd like to thank you. Check us out on all the platforms. Share us. Talk about us. Send us posts. Check us out on Twitter, which is at Fort Fritz MCT. You can also check us out on Libsyn, on iHeartMedia, on YouTube, on Spreaker, on the iHeartRadio app, just on all the damn platforms, and just share it. Listen to it and share it, and we can't thank you enough.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. And then get on with your damn life. This is Fort Fritz.